Welcome to my Week 4 NFL predictions. And last week I had a pretty overall decent week. Went 10-5 on game predictions. Obviously there was a tie in the Bengals-Eagles game, so I didn't count that one. And then 3-2 on my 5 betting locks. I thought I was going to do much better. So we'll go through the betting locks right now. So, first of all, that Falcons-Bears game, I was very high on the Falcons, -3 against the Bears. I thought they'd blow out the Bears, and they did exactly that through the first 3 quarters. Then Nick Foles comes in and leads a comeback. Bears score 3 touchdowns in the final quarter, and the Falcons don't even win. That one was very triggering. And then also another loss in the bet of the week was the Raiders at Patriots. This was not one of my smartest moments. I thought the Raiders would keep it close. They were on a short week, though, and they went to New England and got blown out by the Patriots, so it was not a great prediction by me. But then 3 that I did get right, the Browns hosting the Washington football team. This one did look scary for a little bit. Washington football team was leading in the second half, but they just had way too many turnovers. Browns, as I expected, ran the ball to perfection and won by 14. Then you had the 49ers, who were favored by 4. I took them to win the game by more than that because I knew there was no way that they were losing, and they won by 27, so a pretty good prediction there. And then probably my best prediction was that the Lions would cover the 6 points against the Cardinals, and that they would win the game, and they did just that. Kyler Murray did not play very well on that one. Matthew Stafford and the Lions get their first win of the season. So now on to my Week 4 NFL predictions. And for the Thursday night game, to open it up, it is just a terrible game. 0-3 Broncos versus 0-3 Jets. And I'm going to take the Broncos here because they have been somewhat competitive in the first 3 weeks. Against the Steelers, they lost Drew Lock, but then closed the gap and had a drive to win the game late. Whereas the Jets, they have just been utterly abysmal throughout the season so far. They lost to the Colts by 29 last week. Sam Darnold threw 2 pick sixes. Adam Gase is likely coaching for his job here, which does give New York a sense of urgency that they've got to win this one to save their coach. But in the end, I think the Broncos are a much more superior team. Even though they might have Brett Ripien at the helm in this one, I'm going to take them narrowly. And then on to my first bet of the week. This is Ravens at Washington football team. And I'm going to be taking the Ravens -12 to be getting this one done. The line was about 13.5, 14 before the Monday night game. And then once the Ravens lost, they got taken down of 2 points. But the Ravens' loss is what makes me want to bet on this game. Lamar Jackson was terrible in that Monday night outing, and he's going to be so much better in this one against the football team. There's going to be no fans. It's within a few miles of M&T Bank Stadium, so not really a road game for the Ravens. The defense got shredded up by Patrick Mahomes, and they were going to give Dwayne Haskins and this bad Washington football team offense fits. I see this one getting out of hand in the first half and the Ravens winning big. Next, Chargers at Bucks, and the Bucks are playing great football at the moment. 2-1 leading the NFC South. Tom Brady playing well, utilizing all those weapons, and then Leonard Fournette is really the big story. The rushing game is what's going to win this game. I think they'll do it. Chargers are largely inconsistent with Justin Herbert, although I was surprised. They had, a better lateral last week, and they would have won the game in 2-1 as well, but I just don't trust the Chargers' defense against this Bucks offense, so I'll take the Bucks here. Next, Seattle Seahawks at Miami Dolphins. This is a 10 a.m. body clock game for the Seahawks, but other than that, I don't see anything problematic in this matchup. Russell Wilson's going to have a great day against this Miami defense, but they did show life against Gardner Minshew and the Jags offense on that last Thursday night game. Maybe Fitzpatrick can get it going and make it a shootout against this Seahawks defense, but I'm just going to go with the safe pick here and pick Seattle. Next, a slight upset. I'm going to take the Vikings over the Texans. The Texans are 0-3 so far, and although they did play three of the top teams in the AFC, their defense is abysmal. They give up 33 to the Ravens, and then 34 to the Chiefs, and then 28 last week to the Steelers. The Vikings offense has got it going the last week. I know they lost. This one's just going to be a shootout to me, but I think the Vikings are more desperate for that first win, so I'm going to be taking them in this matchup. I think they're the more well-rounded team. And next, Saints at the Lions, and these are two desperate teams. Saints did not expect to be going 1-2 before the season. I'm going to take them here narrowly against the Lions. The Lions showed a lot last week, and when I predicted them to beat the Cardinals. But the Saints, I think, are just a better football team. If they want to be a playoff team, this is a game that they're going to have to win. It's going to be a shootout, but Drew Brees does typically beat Matthew Stafford, so I'm going to be taking the Saints in this one. Next, Cowboys hosting the Browns. I'm going to be taking the Cowboys at home. The Cowboys realize that if they want to win the NFC East, they just got to put a few wins together at this point, and that's what they're going to do. The Browns simply have to run all over this Cowboys defense, and they can do it, showed last week by their dominance over the football team. And then the Cowboys, their defense is just trash. They give up 39 to the Falcons, 38 to the Seahawks. I think they'll get the better of the Browns here because Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield, but it's going to be very close. On to the Bengals hosting the Jaguars, and in this one, I'm going to be taking the Bengals. A strong performance in the tie at Lincoln Financial Field against the Eagles. They were close to a win there if it weren't for a late Carson Wentz drive. I think they're playing well. Joe Burrow really wants a win for this team. They've been playing more consistently than the Jaguars, who looked terrible last week against Miami. I think the Jaguars are the team that we thought they'd be, so I'm going to be taking Cincinnati here. Now a close one between the 2-1 Colts and the 3-0 Chicago Bears. I have picked against the Bears in almost every game this season. I'm going to keep that trend up. I think the Colts are a well-rounded team. Phillip Rivers knows his role, kind of a game manager, and the defense is playing very well. So I'm going to be taking the Colts here. Nick Foles, maybe he can have some magic this week, get that offense ignited like he did in the fourth quarter against Atlanta, but I'm going to be taking the Colts. Next, on to the Cardinals at the Panthers. Panthers got a shocking win last week against the Chargers, but I think that the Cardinals are the better team here. Teddy Bridgewater just doesn't air it out like you want him to, and I think that's going to be the downfall here. They're going to be down by too many points. They don't have Christian McCaffrey, and Kyler Murray's going to bounce back this week. I see the Cardinals winning. Now to the Giants at the LA Rams, and this one is pretty easy. LA Rams victory. The Giants might be the worst team in football, along with the New York Jets, and the Rams are going to be pissed off after a controversial finish last week. They came back from 25 points down just to be screwed on a fourth down call. So they're going to win this one big. Spread is 12, so the real question in that game is, will the Rams cover? Next, the Bills and the Raiders, and this one's going to be really close, but I'm narrowly going to be taking the Raiders. They did not look good against the Patriots, but then again, that's a Bill Belichick-led team. They were on the road, short week, and so I'm going to be taking them at home against the Bills. The Bills, quite simply, are lucky to be 3-0 at this point, and I think that the Raiders' running game with Josh Jacobs will be able to ignite the offense. They'll dominate possession. Josh Allen didn't look very good in the latter stages of that game. So this one's going to be really close. I could see the Bills winning, but I'm going to take the Raiders. Next, probably one of the games of the week, the Chiefs hosting the Patriots, and this is going to be my second betting lock of the week. I'm going to be taking the Patriots +7 to cover, but the Chiefs to ultimately win the game. I think 7 points is a little bit too much against the Bill Belichick-led team. Chiefs coming off a short week. They're traveling home against the Ravens. We know that this Chiefs team kind of goes in cruise control for some of the first halves and then has to dig themselves out of a hole. I think they're overall better than this Patriots team, but the Patriots could dominate possession with Cam Newton and that potent running game and make this one close. Next to the Sunday Night Football matchup, Eagles at 49ers. This one looked great on paper before the season started, but then with all the injuries and how bad the Eagles are playing, not a very good matchup. This one's very lopsided. I'm going with the 49ers. They're getting Jimmy G back, getting Kittle back this week, getting some more defensive players back, maybe even Deebo Samuel. And the Eagles just look pathetic in their first 3 games. They didn't even want to go for the win last week. They were just playing to tie, and they're going against a superior Niner team across the country. So this one's easy. I'm taking San Francisco. On to the Monday night game, Falcons at Packers. This is my final betting lock of the week. I'm going to be taking the Falcons +7.5 to cover, but the Packers to win. The Falcons play it close. I think that they might even win this game. Matt Ryan and the Falcons are historically good against Aaron Rodgers, although this Packers team is very good. The Falcons will put up points. They'll stay in it, and I think they will get edged out in the end, but 7.5 was way too many points in my opinion. So I'll take the Packers to win, but the Falcons to cover. And then the Steelers at Titans, we just got word that it has been postponed. It's probably going to be played in Week 7, so no need to predict that game. But it was an interesting development over the course of the week. Were we going to get it on Sunday as scheduled, a Monday, maybe even Tuesday night football game? But ultimately it is postponed, so no predicting that one. So thank you for watching.